Hey y'all, meteorologist Sydney Goldberg here from the Verse Alert Desk on this Wednesday. We're halfway through the week, but we started off this Wednesday different. We had a good bit of rain moving through really overnight and really early this morning. So here's a satellite loop of the past 12 hours. Good batch of rain that moved through. Didn't really hear much thunder with that. Just delivered some rain that made for some wet streets this morning, but this is what we're looking at now. This is our Grand Isle camera. Bright blue skies, and that's pretty much the case really in most of southeast Louisiana now that some colder air and drier air is moving through behind that cold front that's moved through. So temperature wise, we're in the mid to upper 50s across the area. 55 here in Baton Rouge, but 58 in Gonzales, Patterson, 59 in Homa. But you can tell what's headed our way, because we've got a lot of green on the map, but up towards the north, starting to see some blue, 49 degrees in Macomb. So cooler air is going to continue to settle in throughout the day, and so it is going to be breezy behind the cold front really into this afternoon and evening. But temperature-wise, because we're getting the colder air in throughout the day, we're not going to move all that much. So I think we're really going to be stuck in the mid to upper 50s today. You can tell that a cold front has moved through because look at the dew points, higher dew points down towards the southeast, but we're starting to get a drop in those dew points. They're falling. That's signaling drier and cooler air is settling down into South Louisiana. Here are the winds. These are our current sustained winds, anywhere from 12, getting closer to 16 miles an hour in New Iberia. Sustained winds here in Baton Rouge are at 7, but picking up 13 mile per hour winds in Gonzales. So these are sustained winds, so it is pretty breezy right now, and that will carry into the afternoon. Gusts, I've been picking up some gusts close to 20 miles an hour earlier this morning, so here and there we'll get a gust near 20 miles an hour, possibly closer to 30 at times later into the evening. So moral of the story today is breezy. So if we look at our forecast wind gusts, pretty much we're going to stay in those 20s, but I wouldn't rule out a gust closer to 30 miles an hour, especially closer to the coast. But it is going to be breezy, winds coming out of the north, and then once we get into tomorrow morning, they'll settle down a bit. But yeah, it is going to be a breezy day and cool day, so that'll make for a chill because temperatures, again, not moving much. So staying in the mid to upper 50s through the afternoon, the sustained winds coming out of the north, 10-15 miles an hour, gusting up towards 20, so that'll add a chill factor into the afternoon. And then into the evening, once the sun goes down, we'll be able to cool off even more since we're getting the drier air settling in. So we'll get into the low 40s by 9 and then back into the 30s overnight. So we could see some places reaching freezing or near freezing overnight tonight to start tomorrow morning. So forecast lows have got us right at freezing along the interstates, slightly below freezing north of the interstates. Then I've got us into the mid to upper 30s closer to the coast. So not everyone is going to reach freezing tonight, but if you do, it's a light freeze. So not worried about the pipes, don't have to drip those, but we do need to protect people, pets, and plants. I know the plants, you've been bringing them inside, bringing them outside. Now we need to bring them inside, cover them up, because we're expecting a light freeze for areas along and north of the interstates tonight. Don't have to worry about the pipes, but do make sure that you press the button, make sure your smoke detectors work, because we're back to the cold, back to turning on the heaters, so space heaters, so make sure that works going into tonight and tomorrow morning. So yes, chilly to start tomorrow, light freeze expected, but not widespread for Thursday morning. We'll stay chilly for Friday morning as well, but it will be slightly where we're starting up into the upper 30s. Then by the weekend, we're really starting to feel the warm up, starting off into the 40s and then getting back into the 50s to start next week. So we really do have a big warm up coming. You can see that in the afternoon highs too. So today and tomorrow, temperatures are actually below normal for this time of year, into the 50s. Thursday will be our coldest day, staying in the mid to low 50s in some spots. So that's running more than 10 degrees below normal for this time of year. So we have a couple of cooler days in store for us. But if you like the warmer weather, we've got more warmer days ahead of us. Friday, we rebound back into the low 70s. That's above normal for this time of year. And look at the trend. It keeps on going right on through the weekend and into early next week, mid 70s. That'll certainly feel nice. It'll kind of feel like a spring vibe. So talking about the weekend, it's Mardi Gras. We've got a lot of parades to get through. So the first one is Friday evening. That's Crew of Artemis. This will be kind of on the cooler side. into the low 60s and then following into the mid 50s. But we don't have to worry about any rain. We'll keep it dry, so it'll be nice and cool. Just may want that jacket if you are headed out on the parade route on Friday night. By Saturday, Crew of Mystique. This is set to roll at 2 p.m. on Saturday through the afternoon. This will feel nice, lots of sunshine, dry, in the low 70s throughout the entire parade. So that'll feel really nice for Crew of Mystique in the afternoon on Saturday. Then we have the Crew of Orion. That's set to roll in the evening, so 6:30. It'll be a little bit on the cooler side, mid 60s to start, then falling into the upper 50s. Again, don't have to worry about any rain. We'll keep it clear. And also don't have to worry about any wind. So it'll be nice and fair conditions for the parades this weekend. Then we go to Sunday. This is a day parade. This is at 2 p.m. as well. That's when that's set to roll. Nice. I mean, low to mid 70s, sunshine, some clouds, keeping it dry. This is really perfect parade weather that we're talking about for the weekend. Then if we get beyond the weekend, so into mid-February, the Climate Prediction Center is saying through the next 8 to 14 days, the extended outlook, much of the central and southeastern U.S. is now highlighted for above normal temperatures. So off towards the west, there's a bit of a pattern shift taking place, starting to see some below normal temperatures in California. But as we get into the central and eastern portion of the U.S., that's now getting highlighted for above normal temperatures, with the highest highlight really centered on the Gulf Coast and southeast. So it does look like we're going to keep the warmer pattern in place going through about mid-February. So if you're a fan of the warmer temperatures, just got to get through these 2 days. Really, I mean, tomorrow morning back to freezing, but it's a light freeze. We're not talking about that Arctic air getting back in here. It's just going to be cold to start tomorrow morning. Then by the afternoon, it'll be cool again into the mid-50s, so slightly cooler by tomorrow, but we'll keep the sunshine, so that'll feel nice. Then by Friday, we really feel the warm up coming back into play, back into the low 70s, and that carries into the weekend. So really perfect parade, Mardi Gras weather, and it does look like we'll get even warmer heading into the first part of next week. And right now, we've got no rain chances on the board as well, so we are staying dry. All right, in less than an hour, Jeff Morrow will have more details on what to expect today, and of course, the latest on the forecast as we go into the weekend and next week for you right here on WAFB at noon.
Southern Air of Baton Rouge says no, 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 no interest, no money down, no payments for 12 months on HVAC, plumbing, and electrical services. Scan the QR code on your screen to learn more.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. If you're battling an insurance company because of a wreck not your fault and they're not calling you back or being fair, whether you hire us at all, give us a call, 272-5555, or email Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates. You have nothing to lose.